Hey guys, Crazy here, and yes, I know it is extremely late on a Sunday, but my grandpa's 91st birthday had to take precedence. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is the 25th episode of The Rant, which of course means, and you know what this is, it's a 15 minutes of fame. I've been looking so forward to this one. This was originally going to be my first 15 minutes of fame video. So long ago this was going to be. But I decided in the end to put it off. And I've finally come to the point where I literally can't put it off any longer. This 50 Minutes of Fame is going to be centred on the PG rating, or the PG era, as we officially call the last 4 years or so. Now, I had a question from Habashmi. I know he was Joe. You're an epic person. Thank you for watching my videos all the time. I will say this. He gave me an interesting question on my Q&A last time round. I delayed it because it had specific points about the PG rating in specifics. I've broken it up into pieces over this video, so it'll answer all of what you asked me. The first part that you asked me is, has the fact that you said that WWE has started doing more kid-like gimmicks, right? Now, when you actually look into it, what has WWE done which is a kid-like gimmick? Sure, the Irish stereotype in a midget like Hornswoggle who goes around, people are really happy to see a little guy who the children in a way can relate to. And the fact also they're replicating comic book heroes, the Superman style era, where when all hope seems to be lost, a guy can just come back and win because good triumphs over evil. That's the kind of thing I'd say WWE has done with this kid-like gimmick type thing. But you actually look at WWE's gimmicks, there aren't many which are kid-like at all. You've got R-Truth, who believes people are conspiring against him. He's quite a paranoid guy and is quite aggressive. You've got, well, basically Randy Orton, when he's not Superman, who is basically going around tearing people to shreds. A psychopath in Mark Henry, a guy who's obsessed about the looks of other people and himself, and which has mentally scarred him, like Cody Rhodes. When you actually look into WWE today, there aren't many kid-like gimmicks around. So I don't think they actually have done any, because sure, it's PG. Okay, if we were G rating, right, you would have to be worried because there would be kid-like gimmicks around. Sure, Kane and Undertaker are the only gimmicks technically still there, and they aren't PG or G or anything. So I wouldn't go that far. And you asked me that, do you think the PG rating has put the buy rates down? In a way, it has, because it's led to shit booking, which has led to a substandard product, which we all know we dissect into. And in a way, if people know there is a substandard product, the buy rates will go down because they decide not to watch. But the most important thing, I have to say, has been the price of pay-per-views. Because if, in America, you sorry people, and I'm apologising for this, you are very, very sorry to have this on your hands, that your pay-per-view pricing is $49.99 per pay-per-view, $59.99 for WrestleMania, and you have to pay an extra $10 for HD. Now, in honest opinion, that is an incredible, hideous amount. That's nearly, and if I did a calculation before this video, about nearly $700 on wrestling pay-per-views if you went for all of them in standard definition. Now, 600 and something dollars is a shitload of money to pay for crap shows in some cases. So if you bought Over the Limit, Capital Punishment, I would be saying to you, you wasted money on shit shows. You wasted, in correspondence, nearly $100 on shit shows. Now, you wouldn't want to do that, would you? No. Sure, Money in the Bank was worth every single fucking penny of those $50 you paid, if you did. But listen, this is the thing. The buy rate's been going down because of a substandard product brought on by shit booking and other factors which could factor into it. And I think people have been going to the streams. They haven't been buying it because they haven't had the monetary interest, or just generally the fan interest has gone down so much because a substandard product means it's not epic to watch. It's not must watch. And I would say the PG rating has brought it down, because people can tell it's not going to be fantastic every week like the Attitude Era was. Yeah, Monday Night Raw was a bit of a crap shack back then, despite some epic moments, so be remembering that. You also asked me, has it changed the way matches work without blood? And yes, because in a Hell in a Cell, in an Elimination Chamber, even in a TLC, you can matches sometimes need blood to accelerate the hatred. And because some of these matches, like Hell in a Cell, needs blood, it's called the most violent match in history for a fucking reason. Because it is. You want to rip someone to shreds, you do it inside a roof-covered cage made of chain link mesh, which you can use to your fucking advantage to rip your opponent apart. Okay? That is the purpose. Without blood, you can't tell the story. And even in matches where bleeding happens just the hard way, it shows the intensity of the match that you would actually get busted open because of how hard you're hitting somebody. It'll show that they really are working their head to the bone to beat this guy. And it's made the matches a lot slower, a lot methodical, a lot more planned out, and a lot more staged. That's why in a match nowadays you can look and go, okay, yeah, he's gonna punch him, he's making a fake there. Yeah, it's all you can all tell is happening. That's a problem. And I think the way matches work without blood has changed. Because it just doesn't feel the same. Not all matches, even without blood or with blood, don't feel the same. They haven't got that aura around them anymore. And that's a bad thing. Because I actually asked myself this question, and I bet a lot of you were thinking about it. That why was this pertinent in the first place? If our product went from good to shit, you're wondering why did this happen in the first place? Now, this could happen. I thought of many ideas. The Benoit tragedy obviously was a spearhead to WWE to change its image. And I obviously can tell this would be a great thing for them. Were they trying to appeal to a new audience? Because the audience that grew up for the Rock and Roll Wrestling era as kids grew up through into the Attitude Era as teenagers, adults, young adults, and then through the Ruthless Aggression Era as adults. They would, at that point, according to the WWE marketing machine, start to lose interest. So maybe they're trying to get that new breadth of audience that they've been wanting to keep the stranglehold on American wrestling. Would that be something they want to do? I would think so. Because people like me, who are still youngish, who still love it, are going to continue regardless. Until that point where we realise there's no point watching anymore. Was it to tame the product for Linda McMahon's political career? Could have been, because you noticed, if you did notice around the election, it became really low in standards. Nothing could be considered attitude was ever on the program or on the product. And I think you can label it because they wanted to clean it all up. Or, in better answers, you could say it's to bring in more money for Vincent Kennedy McMahon, because PG rating means more sponsors. More sponsors equals more money. Because in an Attitude Era product, a TV-14 product, not many people are going to want to actually invest in it. Sure, car products, men's shaving things, I don't know what else. Even fast food chains are going to want it. But you do not want to be, especially in a kids product, in a kids world, kids marketing is a fucking huge business that's worth a load of money. So you wouldn't have thought, even with the action figures, the costume things they sell, the programs, the video games, anything they can look at, their colouring books, CDs, anything they can put their fucking hands on, they would be willing to sell to the kids, because that's where all the money comes in. Especially if you're an adult going to a show, you need to. And I think McMahon will think, PG rating gets more money in for me, I can then do a lot more. Well, that's what we think anyway. But then I often go around on videos on the internet, whether it be old Raw intro videos, old matches, old videos of Superstar compilations. They say, this is the Attitude Era, TV-14 forever, PG go die, or something like that. And they often say the rating is the reason. Now, I would never, ever say the rating is what's the cause, because the rating is just a rating. It's nothing. The word PG has so much negative connotations attached to it that us as the audience will think, oh, it's going to turn shit now, isn't it? Like I said earlier, if it was a TVG, if it was a G rating, then you'd have to be concerned. Because a G rating means watered down, appealing to the lowest of the low in terms of cognitive intelligence. You'd have to really, really pander to little kids for that one. And I know a lot of cartoons have TVG or TVG13 or something like that on it. Okay? They had to do a lot of stuff to pander to the right audience. Imagine that. Because it wouldn't be the same, would it? Fighting wouldn't even be fucking allowed if that was the case. So the rating itself is out of the window. What is there to blame for the standard? Is it because the substandard program is happening because of this? Or is the rating officially causing it problems? Now, I've said this before, the booking is what's to blame. Because the bookers are not good enough. They're not coming out with good enough stuff. They're working too tightly around the regulations of the negative connotations that are brought from that rating to say, okay, we have to do it this specific way. And because they're doing that, it's caused a shitload of problems. No wonder Brian Gowitz is just kind of taking the stranglehold and thought, okay, I'll do what I want with this. And people, and the guys in the back are getting pissed off with it. No wonder. Is it because was it the pressure from Linda McMahon's political campaign to tone down it to make it look good? Because no matter what WWE tried, even trying to rally the fans behind McMahon in saying, this is what it is now. We were dirty back then, but look at us now. It's like doing the regeneration on an entire area and say, we were the past, we were full of drug dealers, gang murderers, paedophiles, but now we're all happy and we're all proud to live with each other because we're a civilized bunch of people. It's that kind of stark transformation that McMahon wanted to pull on his own company. And honestly, it didn't work because the media, Mr. Blumenthal's political campaign, all went for the attitude stuff of Trish barking like a dog, Linda and Stephanie getting hit with other things. You get what I'm saying? It still didn't work. So can that actually be to blame for that trying, that idea of shifting, just for that one stab? Because people are saying, oh, when Linda loses her political campaign aspirations in 2012, there will be no more PG stuff. That isn't going to happen, in my opinion, because she probably is going to still run. She's got millions in the bank, so she could just keep going. Could it be Vince McMahon's overbearing, stern idea of what he believes the wrestling should be? Because obviously this guy is a 66-year-old man who has been with the company from the beginning. He believes that he knows what is good for the audiences. He came up with the Katie Vick storyline, if you do not remember. He said it was funny. Yeah, he thought the Katie Vick storyline was funny. See, this is the same guy who is actively going for a kid, adult-friendly PG audience. It's the same guy who thought a necrophilia and murder storyline at the turn of the decade in 2002 was funny. And he even thought up an incest storyline within his own family to go along with that, which never happened, thank fuck. But you see, this idea, he thinks, oh, this should be like this should be like this, good versus evil, da-da-da-da-da. He still thinks that way. And people think that, I think on occasion, that could be a problem. Because there's no one who knows what the audience wants to actually dictate it. Because he's so cocked up inside his own head that he can't even do it. And that's when I come to this last part of your question, Habashmi. Do you think the PG rating will affect WWE a lot in the future? These negative connotations attached will, because it will drive people away. And it has done. People say the Benoit tragedy did it on its own. But this has done it more. Will it keep making problems? Yes. Too many negative things will happen. And it'll keep driving people away. But the one good thing is, there are still that group of fans who are willing to stay on with WWE through thick and thin, like myself. And we're willing to say, even with this PG rating, this PG era, this is still a good product, and you shouldn't just throw it all away just because of one measly 2-letter initial in the top corner of your screen when it starts. Because PG could stand for pretty good, in my opinion, because it hasn't hit rock bottom for me. If it did, I wouldn't be doing this kind of video or anything else. And that is my rant, guys. 15 minutes are almost up. I want to quickly point something out, because on Wednesday I'm starting something new. It's something called In the News. I pick out stuff from one Wednesday to the next, and I will basically voice my opinion on the news on my wrestling sites I've seen that's come up in the last week, as well as my reactions for what has happened on Raw and SmackDown that previous week. So basically, the SmackDown this past Friday, and the Raw this upcoming Monday, basically. It's going to be in the news. It'll come on Wednesday. It's a great thing I'm going to hope to keep up with, because I'm really looking forward to it. And guys, I hope you are as well. I hope you've enjoyed this rant. I hope if you want to hear more from me, you like what I'm doing, you want to keep up, click that subscribe button up there. You want to voice your opinion? Comments down there, like button there. I will see you guys next time. I've been Queen Crazy, you've been people watching, and I am ready to go to sleep. See ya.